this is Neil with Western Canoe and Kayak, here with another video in our kayak fishing series. So today we're going to be looking at installing a fish finder. So today I'm going to be installing my fish finder using a through hull wiring kit. It means I'm going to have to drill some holes in my nice new kayak, but it's totally fine. There is also, if you're someone that doesn't want to drill holes in your kayak, there is a couple other options. So you can do an over-the-side mounting system. Scotty makes the transducer mount. This is a great product, and again, no holes required. And then we also have the X-Power magnetic transducer mount. This is another great product. Allows you to mount your transducer pretty much anywhere on your kayak, as long as you've got access to inside the hull. Also works well for canoes. Any type of kayak. All right, let's get started. So certain fishing kayaks, like this Old Town Sportsman 120 PDL, they have features that make it easy to install a fish finder. This kayak comes with an actual transducer mounting plate. So to get started, we're gonna flip the kayak over, but first, I'm going to have to remove the seat and the drive. Having a nice secure surface to work on is important. So as you can see right here, we have our transducer mounting bracket. So I'm going to remove that. Now I did cheat a tiny little bit, and I've already pre-mounted on another transducer mounting plate, my transducer. So I'm going to attach this. You could also use a little bit of Loctite for these screws as well. This is recess, which is nice, so it helps protect my transducer, so I can actually just bump it down like that. All right, I'm going to take my transducer cord. These are always very long, and I'm going to run that through the scupper that's just back. Now we'll flip the kayak back over. We've got our kayak flipped back up. You can see that I've run the transducer line through the scupper right in front of the bow hatch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of my through hull connectors. I have to drill a hole. To do that, I'm going to have to open the hatch. I will say it's extremely important to make sure you're reading the instructions that come with your through hull kit, whichever type you choose to use. I have made sure to mark the distance. So I've got it in the center because I am using a fairly large bit. This is a 1 3/8, and I'm using a hole saw, which is a pretty good style of bit to be using for this. So I'll drill my hole through. I did beforehand drill a small pilot hole. I made sure that I was in the center of this spot here, so I'd have lots of room for the size hole that I need to drill. Just going to smooth it off a little bit, any little burrs that I might have in there. And I wind up, we do have a gasket on this particular kit, the through hull kit, but I like to add just a little bit of silicone as well. I'm going to do both outside and inside just to make sure. This particular kit has a variety of different hole orientations. For the transducer cable, I need one of them that has one hole. And so it's probably this size, I'm going to say. So I'm going to start running my cable through. That's better. Got some silicone on there. And then this threads on. There's a nut that threads onto the back side that keeps it secure. Like that. There. Nice and neat. So that's our transducer cable installed. So our next step is to install the fish finder and run power cable. So now I've got a smaller fish finder. Really what I'm using this for is for depth, speed for when I'm trolling, finding structure, water temperature, and this works just fine. This actually also has I can drop markers for things like if I'm crabbing, where I put my crab traps. And you do kind of have to think a little bit on where you're going to place it. So kayaks like the Sportsman have the track here, which makes it really easy to add accessories. But you do have to think a little bit about which side you'd like to mount it on. So I like to fish with my right hand. I hold the fishing rod with my right hand, and I'm going to steer with my left with my rudder control. So I felt that my fish finder being on my left will be the best spot. I'm likely going to have a downrigger on the right, because I'd probably use my right hand as well to work that. You kind of have to think about how you're going to fish and the best way to set things up. So what I'm going to do, actually, so my fish finder, I have it attached onto the Scotty Universal Fish Finder mount. So this fish finder mount works great for fish finders that have a viewfinder of less than 5 inches. This will also has that Scotty post, so it attaches into the gearhead track adapter. That's what I have here. So I'm going to slide this in here. You just simply have to twist it in to lock it, just like that. Okay. Next step is to drill another hole. And again, I've marked this where I want to drill it. One thing that I did also do beforehand was I made sure that I had the right width to accommodate this size of a hole by feeling inside where the edges of the kayak are inside. So, okay, I'm going to drill another hole. This gets easier the more you do it. Make sure that's nice and smooth. Now, something that I quite liked, and it was from watching another video of a fish finder installation, was using some sort of a small box. So this is a watertight box. It's actually from a kitchen section, but it seemed to fit my battery really well. And another idea I quite liked was adding some Velcro so it's not going to rattle around when I'm paddling, or in this case, pedaling. So I did add some Velcro inside of my hatch, and that's going to hold it in place really nice. Just like that. Pre-thread everything on. So this will go in there as well. So I'm going to run this up through one. This is my power line. I'm also going to run my transducer line up through here. Like that. And then I've chosen out of my through-hole wiring kit. This particular plug has 2 holes. One's a little thicker, which works fine for the power, and then the transducer cable is actually a little narrower. So we'll go ahead and put this on. And I'll leave myself enough room. I'm going to do a little bit of this as well, a little bit of silicone again. Just to give me a little extra. There is a little bit of room, so you can snug this up if you like. So now I just have to finish by tightening the nut on the back side of my through-hole plug. There we go. So I will probably wind up, you can see how much cord I've got. I'll wind up bundling this up to make it nice and neat. So I've got everything all installed now. Got everything hooked up to my battery. Ran my transducer cable through, and then I've got the power and transducer cable up to my fish finder. There we go. So so we're all done our installation. Any of the products that I've used that you saw in this video will be in the description. For more information on any of these products, you can give us a call at the shop, stop in for a visit, or head to our website, westerncanoekayak.com.